SPR Forum Videos, I'm your host Natalie Rydström. With the Super 15 season now over, the Southern Hemisphere now turns its rugby-loving attention to the Rugby Championship. What, you may ask, is the Rugby Championship? The short answer is that it is the Southern Hemisphere's version of the Six Nations, albeit played over a greater distance and more time zones. It features the three traditional superpowers of rugby below the equator, New Zealand, Australia and South Africa, plus new boys Argentina, who will be taking part for the second time. In essence, it's a tournament which everyone knew and loved as the Tri-Nations, but with extra puma. Joining us now is our betting expert, Richard O'Hagan, and we're going to be taking a look at the early betting odds for the championships. Richard, welcome to the show.
Hi, Natalie.
Now, New Zealand are the bookies' favourites. They're priced at 1.3, followed by South Africa, priced at 6. Australia's third favourite, priced at 6.5. And then Argentina is way back, priced at 101. So firstly, have New Zealand got this one?
New Zealand are one of those teams in world sport that are always going to be the favourites in any market. So they're like Tiger Woods in golf, Manchester United in soccer. They're always going to be very heavily backed. And the question you've got to ask yourself is just how good is this New Zealand side? It's ageing in places. They did have a very good June. They comprehensively beat France, but France came in off a terrible season. They finished bottom of the Six Nations for the first time since the 1950s, and they were missing a lot of players with injury as well. So we don't truly know how good this New Zealand side is, and at the moment, those odds look far too short for me. I think they're going to find it harder than people expect this time.
Right, so who is your money going on then to win?
At the moment, I'd have to say I'm going to be backing Australia. They played better than anybody expected against the British and Irish Lions. They've got a new coach in Ewan McKenzie who hopefully will replace his predecessor's habit of playing people out of position by putting aces in their places. And he should have a really strong, determined back line. They've got a great captain in James Horwill. I think Australia are going to do better than people expect this time round.
OK, and what about Argentina's chance? You know, do they stand any here?
Well, Argentina are definitely a good price at the moment, simply because people are factoring in the fact that what was effectively England's third team comprehensively beat them in June. However, Argentina, again, were missing a lot of their senior players for that. They'll have them back for this tournament. I think they're not going to win it, sadly, but I do expect them to pick up one, maybe two wins during this tournament. They could certainly give the South Africans the same difficulties they did last year when they drew a game with them. So for my money, Argentina, not for the win, but look to back the number of total wins they make during this tournament.
Right, and are there any other markets we should be looking out for as the tournament nears?
I think one of the interesting ones to look out for this tournament actually is going to be the number of yellow cards in the tournament as a whole, because for a competition that's very hard fought between Southern Hemisphere sides who go at each other at a great rate of knots, there was actually only an average of one card per round in last year's competition. And having seen Southern Hemisphere referees again over the course of the summer in the Northern Hemisphere, I think that's pretty much how it's going to be this time round as well. I'll be looking to go low on the number of yellow cards in this tournament. OK, is that your bet right now, or do you have another bet in mind that holds the most value? I think the bet that holds the most value at the moment actually is Australia to win the tournament, and so that's where my money's going.
OK, Richard, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week for the individual match previews.